Alfred takes a dip. Early one morning, the Fat Controller came to see his new engine Alfred at Knapford Sheds. He had a special job for him. Now that Henry's back, he continued, I would like you to work at the fishing village to learn about branch lines. I've asked one of my main branch line engines to teach you. With all due respect, sir, said Alfred, there may be some of us engines that don't know about a few things about branch line. I appreciate the offer, though. And then Alfred puffed away. I hope I haven't made a mistake. Moments after, Alfred was waiting at the fishing village on Arthur's branch line. Aye, waiter, it's another LNER engine, he said cheerfully. No, sounds like no one runs branch line smoothly better than us. But Alfred got the shock of his life when a big LMS tank engine was backing next to him. Hello, you must be Alfred. I'm Arthur, the LMS engine. Alfred was cross. Is this supposed to be a joke? And a London and Midland region engine like you? Teach me. Don't make me laugh. What do you know about branch lines? Arthur felt offended. I'll have you know I've worked on this branch line for years. At this fishing village, said Alfred. I'm sorry, Arthur, but only an LNER engine can run branch lines smoothly. Well, said Arthur, I'll make sure you eat your words someday for your insults. Maybe so, said Arthur. Although I would like to stay and chat, but I have a busy schedule to keep. Cheerio. Arthur watched as he angrily watched the green tender engine depart. Just then, Rosie came over. Hello, Arthur, said Rosie. What's up? Arthur told Rosie what Alfred said to him. I'm sorry Alfred was rude to you, she said. Would you like me to help at the fishing village? Oh, yes, thank you, said Arthur, and the two set off to work. Arthur felt happier working with Rosie as he watched Rosie buffer up to his fishing train, and they puffed out of Brendam Docks at once. But the two engines had to work extra hard. Going up the Action Canyon was the difficult part. They also had to push and pull very hard so that they could get their fish delivered to Alsborough Harbour as fast as they can. At last, the two tank engines were able to reach the top of the hill. Moments after, both Arthur and Rosie returned to Knapford Sheds from their journey to Harwick. Duck was there resting. He looked very pleased to see that Arthur and Rosie were back. Hello there, said Duck. Hello there, said Duck. I thought Alfred would be helping you, Arthur. He was, said Arthur, but he was refusing to. He even insulted Arthur for being an LMS engine, said Rosie. Don't listen to him, said Duck. He insulted me this morning. For me being a Great Western engine. We all know he thinks the LNER is better than the Sodor Railway. He'll never let this rivalry rest. Meanwhile, on the other hand, Alfred was still being cocky. The trucks were behaving well, but Alfred bumped them so hard that they decided to pay him out. Soon they approached the hill. Alfred was still getting cocky when he approached the hill. Keep it up, you silly trucks, he said, and then you'll be well behaved as those on the LNER. The trucks were very cross with Alfred. We'll show him what troublesome trucks can really do, they said, and they all whispered their plan to the trucks. Alfred was going on well. When it happened, the trucks' last chance had come. Hurrah, hurrah, they laughed, and banging their buffers, they pushed Alfred down the hill. On, yelled the trucks. Stop! Stop it right now, shouted Alfred. But the trucks carried on, and Alfred was going too fast. What's going on? Cried Alfred. No one was even there to help him because of how rude he was. Alfred was going too fast at a tremendous speed. He went racing through stations and went racing through engine sheds. Then he approached the signal box closer to Brendam Docks. Alfred went diving into a siding and crashed into the ocean. Alfred was trenched. He sunk after his wild ride then. But the trucks didn't care. They were feeling very pleased with themselves. The Fat Controller was having breakfast at the cafe at Wellsworth Station when he got the call. Alfred has had trouble, he said. I'll send Rosie and Arthur to find him immediately, he said. Rosie and Arthur were at Knapford Sheds with Duck when the yard manager came to see them. Alfred has crashed into the ocean with some trucks, he said, and I would like the two of you to get him out. But Arthur was cross with that idea. I'm not helping Alfred after what he said to me this morning, he said. Please, Arthur, said Rosie. It would be nice for you to help a friend. I'm sure you won't let Barry down for this sort of situation. Arthur suddenly remembered. Then the only thing to do things the LMS way is to help Alfred get out of the water. Very well then, he said, and the two tank engines set off to fetch Rocky. Alfred had been in the ocean for the rest of his life. He was shivering and felt miserable. Just then, Arthur had finally arrived with Rocky, and Rosie came from behind to pull the fishy train out of the way so that Rocky could lift Alfred out of the water. Moments after his goods train being removed out of the way, Rocky was able to pull Alfred and his tender out of the ocean, and at last, Alfred was back on the rails. Alfred was free. When the Fat Controller found out, he spoke severely to Alfred. You are a very naughty engine, he said. Yes, sir, I'm sorry, sir, Alfred said Alfred, feeling ashamed for himself. The Fat Controller had stern words with Alfred. This LNER pride has gone to your smoke box, he said. It has made you an even more arrogant engine. For your punishment, I shall take away your green livery and that Eleanor on your tender and have you painted blue. But sir, said Alfred, you can't do this. I'm the most pride of the Eleanor. You can't do this. Be grateful that I'm giving you another chance, Alfred. Next time, you're out of here. Yes, sir, said Alfred slowly. At the end of the day, Alfred was going to the works to be mended and painted in his new livery. He was being pulled by Arthur and shunted by Rosie. Now it was Arthur's turn to get his own back at Alfred. So going for a swim with your trucks is the Eleanor way, he said. I think I'll take the LMS way if you don't mind, he said cheekily. Alfred pretends that he haven't heard.